Monday, January 9th edition of the Carolina Weather Video. I'm meteorologist Matthew East here with you, and really a whole lot to talk about. We have a cold air damming scenario in play today, a big system Wednesday, blast of cold air to end this week, and a lot of uncertainty with where this pattern is going in the longer term. And just going to stick with me through the current edition of the video. Now, as far as today is concerned, let's look at the radar this morning during the 5 o'clock hour. We've had some showers overnight, and one of our cold air damming scenarios is in place. So kind of a wedge of chilly air has put itself down into the Piedmont zones, and we're going to have some of these showers from the west moving through from time to time, especially through early afternoon, and some lingering drizzle this afternoon into maybe early evening. Now here is the precipitation with our midweek system already in Texas. But it's going to be a very slow-moving system, and most of the effects around here from that system will be Wednesday. Some fog advisories out over much of Alabama, Georgia, the Florida Panhandle, northeastern Mississippi, and then the white shady counties here in New Mexico and Texas. Those are various winter weather products. A lot of winter storm warnings in effect for snow. With that next system, pretty potent upper-level low spinning from northern parts of Old Mexico into New Mexico and Texas right there. And that'll wind up moving right into the southeastern part of the United States over the next several days. Ahead of the system, severe weather is a concern, especially tomorrow over the Gulf Coast region, parts of Louisiana, southern Mississippi, southwestern Alabama, the Florida Panhandle regions, with the greatest risk of severe weather with that system tomorrow. And then we will see. I think there is at least some chance of some of this severe threat materializing up into roughly this area on Wednesday. So we'll see how that unfolds. In terms of rain, this is the 5-day rain totals from the HPC. The lion's share of this occurring around here Wednesday. All right, let's talk about temperatures. Pretty mild overall. Now, again, there won't be a lot of temperature movement today. With that wedge in place, we're going to be looking at high temperatures today, just kind of hanging out in the 40s, and a lot of the Piedmont at most some low and mid 50s. But we'll get a nice mild day tomorrow ahead of that Wednesday system. And notice no real blasts of cold air at the moment. It's pretty mild even up in the northern plains. That's going to be changing. Let's go to the upper levels. There's that upper air low today. This is this afternoon off the European model. Here we are Wednesday early afternoon as that system is swinging on in. And we go out to Friday, nice trough diving into the eastern parts of the country, chilling us down. And then a little reinforcing push of colder air then arrives, it looks like, for the early week period. Now let me go ahead and talk about some longer term ideas. A lot of folks wondering what is going on, where this pattern is headed. Now let's look at the upper air chart here. This is the European model on the left, the GFS on the right. Not a tremendous amount of agreement with the 0Z runs here, even with the large-scale features. Notice on the European, you have this big block developing up into Alaska. And it's there to some extent on the GFS, but it's displaced further west. I'm going to side with the overall European type of scenario. That has been kind of the persistent feature on the modeling here through the weekend. And notice you have some blocking on the European, and even to some extent on the GFS, all the way across the pole from Europe. And that is going to allow probably the coldest air in the hemisphere to get over into our half of the continent, deeper into the medium range. Let me show you what that looks like in reality here. Now, this is the European model out at 168. Now, again, this may be tough to see on the video, but this is the hemisphere-wide view. So this is out Sunday evening, the 15th. Big ridge going up into Alaska here. And at times, there's been a dual block developing. It wasn't as prevalent on the 0Z runs as some earlier runs, but the bottom line is you get some very cold air into our half of the continent, meaning into parts of North America. Now, where does it go? Let me kind of give you an example of this. Now, here we are Friday morning. This is interesting. These are 850 millibar temperatures, so basically the temperature at 5,000 feet. This is our late week blast of cold air moving in. And yeah, it's a pretty cold shot of air. You're looking at 850 temperatures in the eastern and central part of the country, between 10 and 20 below zero. But look up in Canada. Okay, it's cold. Yeah, it's January. But look what happens with that after that Alaska block develops. Look at the cold air that is then available out of the 17th of January. and you're looking at 850 millibar temperatures between 30 and 40 below zero. So that is the real deal. That is true Arctic air that's up there in Canada as we get toward the middle part of the month. And then you get out to 240 hours, and again, it is still very cold over Canada. And the question then becomes simply, will the pattern allow that cold air to shoot down into the central and eastern parts of the country? And I think probably where we head long term is a scenario where the coldest of air in a more sustained fashion probably stays over the northern half of the U.S., but it's going to be a scenario here where we will probably see occasional shots of this cold air into the country, into the eastern part of the U.S. rather, into our part of the country. And it looks like this could wind up being a pattern that's favorable for big areas of high pressure to move from the plains to the northeast, and that could set us up for some cold air damming scenarios down the road in January. I know folks are looking, you look at the modeling, you say there's no real huge shots of sustained cold air, but that's not necessarily what you want in terms of snow and winter weather production here in our region. So many times you get all this Arctic air that just overwhelms the pattern and you just get cold and dry. But if you're looking for winter weather chances, I don't think this is a bad look in terms of where we're headed for the second half of the month. There will be cold air very close by, and it's just a matter of seeing if we can get one of those cold air damming episodes, or maybe a closed cold core upper low to interact with all that cold air that's close by and bring us some winter weather. So I think the pattern looks overall pretty good later in the month. Now, of course, there's some things that could go wrong. You can end up with a pattern that just simply keeps that cold air bottled up off to our north. That is a possibility. We'll see. Let's go day by day. GFS model today. Clouds, some showers, and drizzle around at times. Tomorrow we squeeze in a good day. We're between systems, a lot of sunshine for tomorrow, highs in the upper 50s and low 60s. Here we are Wednesday. That next system moves in. It'll be a very wet day Wednesday, and we'll see how far north the warm front makes it. At the moment, I think the warm front probably will wind up by afternoon, extending from around GSP to maybe Greensboro over toward Raleigh. Areas south of that line have to watch for some strong to severe storms. Here we are Wednesday afternoon. The rain continues. All right, Thursday we have another mild day just ahead of an Arctic cold front. I think Thursday we see some highs in the low and mid 60s, but Friday it's sharply colder. We probably see low and mid 40s at most for highs Friday, some 40s probably around for highs on Saturday, Sunday, Monday too. Now this is all the way out. Well, it looks like I got this panel out of order. This is the European's depiction of the midweek system. All right, so we're going to get a big blast of cold air in here to end this week. Nothing brutal, but it will return a lot of our highs and lows back to below average for mid-January. All right, so that's it. Thank you for watching today's edition of the video. I'll get out in a second. Everybody have a great Monday, and God bless.